Hey everyone, back again in my prize award winning, whatever awards they give for this kind of shit, interview series. The Xbox was the last one. Ended a little, Xbox had to get out. I had to help. We're close friends. Everybody, don't worry, the Xbox is fine, just in hiding, laying low. We got him to a place where he's actually allowed to be, where he doesn't have any warrants out or commit any crimes. But I'm here today with the 360, the Xbox 360, the son of the original Xbox. The 360 is here. This is the slim version. And we'll talk to the slim specifically because that was the original Xbox's favorite of that generation. Because we'll talk about the other iterations that came during that generation and their failures. How are you? I know you're going to want to know where your dad is and all this other shit. We'll talk about that in a few, but we're not here for that, right? I mean, you didn't try to lure me here because I was with my buddy, and you calling me here. I can go as I please. Like, I have immunity to kind of do as I please. All right. People will see the footage of what happened then. And I don't know who those people were. Did you send those people actually in that when I was doing that interview? I don't know. We don't know. But he said it was okay if I talked with you because you're his favorite of that first model 360. The first one he spawned, oh my God, with the red ring, what a disaster that thing was. It was an embarrassment to him. All right, then the Elite came, and that one was a little better. But then you're the slim version, and he was really satisfied with you. And he respects you enough, not fully, because you're a little sneaky. I've heard the stories. We've heard the stories, all right? But let's just talk about how it feels. Like, how does it feel to be the best of that generation? Because we know the original model, the core model 360, that first one that was rushed. The red ring ruined consoles. It just failed. And then the Elite was better, didn't fail in that way. But then they finally slimmed it down to you. Perfect kind of model, right? And your father was pleased with it. How do you feel about being his favorite? I mean, listen, you say he was violent. That could have been to them. I mean, was he really violent to you? Because I've heard, Yeah. Well, yes, your father is the original Xbox, and your mother is the legendary Commodore 64. Interesting that they were able to breed, but you came out of it, and you should be pleased that you're his favorite. Well, he doesn't like his grandson, your son, or the great grandson even. I mean, the Xbox One, the Series X. I mean, just not getting it done. I mean, giving up. What happened? You gave up. Your exclusives are all coming to Sony. Sony doesn't give you anything in return. What do you get? MLB The Show? I think they gave you something else stupid, some other random game. Like, here you go, but you're gonna give us Gears. We're gonna get Halo in it all. What's the point of Xbox anymore? You used to be a proud console. You were riding high, even with the red ring. You were riding high during that era. You didn't outsell the PS3, but I'm gonna give you, the PS3 just lingered on for a while. The third-party support and the base loved it. Third party was huge for you. You had great exclusives, and the base for like Call of Duties always came to Xbox, to 360, the 360. I agree with that. I think you won that generation. I would agree. But then it went downhill, and your father, seeing the generations get worse and worse, to start off on such a high back then. That's such a high. For come on onto the scene, never been in the console scene, Microsoft. They come in, and your father does well. It wasn't beating the PS2. I mean, who the hell was going to? But it was solid, and then you push through the bullshit of the beginning of that generation with the hardware issues, and then 360 kind of wins that generation. And then Xbox, that doom day of the Xbox One's, whatever that was, it an E3 or what is it? Were they even doing E3 then? I think it was still E3. Oh my God, we're unveiling the Xbox One and all that bullshit that surrounded it. You tanked right out of there. Sony came in lower price, weren't gonna screw you on any bullshit, and then you had to walk. They had to all walk all that back. It was too late. Damage was done, and it's been uphill battle ever since. I think Series X. Is it the Series X? X. I don't even know the naming. The naming too. I mean, let's talk about it. Your name. I mean, you're not a fan, right? You are, but are you? Xbox 360. I didn't know there was 359 Xboxes before you. That's interesting. And then Xbox One. What? So what was the original Xbox? The Xbox Zero, -2, and then it's just like here's a Series X, okay. But wasn't there like an X too? I don't understand. Who's name? Like who? I can't. You're all, in my mind, you're all disappointment to your father, great grandfather, grandfather. He's disappointed in you, and it led him to drink. Listen, let's be honest. You pushed him to drink. You all did. The Xbox One really did. You had some great exclusives. I'm not going to argue with it. You're riding high. I never seen it. Ride high and beer. Why don't you just stick to the PC then? At this point, what are you doing? I think the next console you're going to make is going to be like a PC as a console. Wonderful. You could just get a PC instead. Yeah, we won't talk about the PC because you got a high-end PC. It's blowing everything out of the water anyway. But this is about the consoles. Now, it wasn't the battle that the Genesis and the Super Nintendo was back in the day. And that was a battle. They were going at it. They were two gladiators going at it. You were a gladiator. The original Xbox wasn't, I will say that, and obviously we're great friends. But it wasn't the PS2 was on another level. But the Xbox came in and busted its ass and had an impressive debut. And you came in through all the bullshit. We settle on you, the slim version. You win that war, in my opinion. And then it ain't no war anymore. It hasn't been. It hasn't been. And you pretty much just given up. The people, the humans are just firing everybody. They're resigning. They're being fired. Let's put it that way. Right? Do you think you'll ever have that glory again? Maybe. I'm not one to say. Why do you keep bringing that up? Why do you want to know where your father is so much? Like, why do you want that information so much? I kind of don't trust you. And your dad, gave me a little bit of the inside scoop and thought you might betray him. Oh, look who's coming in here. Don't worry, I don't got my zapper here today. I'm not telling you shit. Okay? I'm not telling you shit. Listen, you can come here. You can think you're all tough and stuff, but I got a couple GameCubes over there. They'll have no problem dealing with the likes of you. Alright? So calm yourself. I met with you. We were going to discuss things, and I would maybe give you a little information on your dad. Tell him he's all right, he's doing well, he's cleaning himself up. That's not true, he isn't. But you come here with your BS. That's why you said you're sneaky, and that's probably why you did the best at any of the Microsoft consoles, because you were a sneaky son of a bitch, weren't you? Here's the thing. I'm not going to tell you shit. In fact, I might tell him what you did. And then you're going to have to answer to him. And you look, I'm going to, whatever, dude, don't get pissed. I'll fucking manhandle you. Look at this. Pretty tough built console. Isn't as tough as his father, okay? The original Xbox would break you down, alright? And he knows everything about you. We're going to end that here because you're getting on my nerves. I'm not giving you any information, okay? Look over your buddies. My group of cubes just took out, what was that? You brought in a couple Xbox Ones? You think the series, come on, man. The Cube was a fighter. Didn't sell well. But the Cube was a fighter. And they're in numbers. There's 20 of them. You can't, an original Xbox probably could have taken 10 cubes on its own. But the Xbox One, Series X, a couple of those earlier, They red ringed already. Why did you bring them? Bozo. I'll end on this. You were a hell of a console. You had a hell of a run. Started off rocky as shit with the red ring, but you pulled through. You won the generation. Went downhill from there. I don't know why you're obsessed with your father. You should be worried about your son and your grandson consoles, okay? Because the original Xbox laid the groundwork. You kind of ran with it a bit, and you shit the bed somewhere because your son underperformed badly, terribly. All right, we're gonna end it on that, dude. Yeah, keep asking where he is. I ain't gonna tell you shit. In fact, I might just take you to him and have him lay a couple licks on you. You like that? Yeah. We're turning this off now, right? Pfft, get out of here.